There's no disputing the huge importance of smooth evacuation of cargoes to Nigeria's economy. When cargoes are efficiently evacuated from the nation's seaports, the economy booms. In recent times, barges have stepped in to augment in the task of evacuating cargoes and have proven to be quite important in this task. Apart from helping to reduce the challenge of congestion at Nigerian ports, barges also help to ease the gridlock associated with the port's access roads. No doubt, barge operators require adequate support to perform optimally and aid the nation's economic growth. In its quest to promote a multimodal approach to cargo evacuation, the Nigerian Shippers Council is making efforts to ensure optimum support for barge operations across the nation's ports. Today on the program, we turn our searchlights on the activities of barge operators and efforts being made to ensure their operations are seamless. Welcome to another enlightening edition of your favorite maritime program, The Shipper. I am Abike Idowu. Stay tuned. The program will continue shortly.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a needle. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem where shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
For you, we dey gidigba, eh.
Nigerian Shippers Council with the meeting now for the port of una need.
As efforts are being intensified to improve the operations of barges at Nigerian seaports, stakeholders in the maritime industry spoke with the shipper on their experiences, preferring solutions to some of the challenges.
Barges are welcome, but it has to be properly regulated in the sense that as a result of our environment, most of our jetties here in Lagos are for ferry, where they carry human for ferry human beings, but if barges start using the ferry, they may have problem.
Barges helps, but I would say on the other hand that the engagement of barges, in as much as it is good, it is also additional cost to the ship operator. To the cargo owner, it's additional cost.
Barges are meant for goods that are urgent, right? And if my own consignment comes and I look at it and I know I have time to follow the process of clearing, I don't need to pay additional 400,000 for transport.
Looking at those registration, a lot of people will not want to go into barge business because it's a major challenge. when you put the cost of those registration into your business output or your business breakdown, you discover that you'll be spending no less than 6 to 7 million naira in your registration.
To ensure a safer environment for the entire maritime industry, the badge operators, led by their president, Mr. Edeme Kelikume, visited the council and expressed concerns over badge accidents caused by blind double-stacking of containers. Several other issues ranging from safety, levies, professionalism, financing, amongst others, were discussed at the meeting. Lucy Ulugbe has more details.
Barges are shoal-draft flat-bottomed boats built mainly for transportation of bulk goods or inland or coastal waterways such as rivers and canals or along coastal shipping routes. The cost of hauling goods by barge is relatively low, making barges cost-effective options for cargo owners. But that is not so in Nigeria. Barges also complement the operations of road and rail transporters. To ensure the improvement of barge operations at the Nigerian ports, executives of the Barge Operators Association of Nigeria, BOAN, visited the headquarters of the Nigerian Shippers Council in Lagos, where they met with the management of the council. Speaking at the meeting, BOAN President Edeme Kelikume raised concerns about substandard jetties. He advised that efforts should be geared towards ensuring that jetties are standardized. Mr. Kelikume also raised concern about the huge variance in fees charged by the different terminals.
What we observed was the issue of substandard barges. One of the occasions we got information that the barge already had a leaking floater before embarking on that journey. And even in the course of the journey, after loading at the port, on their way out, they noticed it and still carried on. When they got to the jetty, now the fourth factor, which is linked to the second factor, this third factor, is leaving barges without tugboats.
Hajia Bolamuse, another BOAN member who spoke at the meeting, urged the council to regulate barge operations and ensure that the practice of double stacking is eliminated.
Our prayers to you, Mr. Yes, is that if we can have insurance bond instead of bank bond, it will be really helpful for us in our business.
Barrister Victor Mboji, BOAN's legal advisor, noted that the barge industry was born out of the need to boost evacuation of cargoes at the ports. Barrister Mboji expressed optimism that with the help of regulators such as the Shippers Council, the industry can be made sustainable to grow the nation's economy.
Due to the nature of our roads and the reputation of experience over the years, was the reason why the badge operation became a necessity, and it's come to solve a very big problem which is plaguing our country today. The badge industry has a very huge potential to blow our economy into something very, very big.
On his part, Ahmad Mohammed, a member of BOAN, raised the alarm over foreign operators taking over the operations of local operators. He urged Shippers Council to use the Cabotage Act to protect the operators.
This issue of barge operation came as a result of silence operation in the waterway transportation system. Because without barge operation, it means one of the mode and means of transportation is missing in our transport means and modes. So therefore, we are agitated. If these two things can be addressed, believe me sincerely, we are going to operate in accordance with the best practice as it relates and stated in the book.
Responding to concerns and suggestions raised by BOAN executives, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Hassan Bello, emphasized the importance of introducing sanity and regulation into barge operations. He urged barge operators to register with the council as required by the law to ensure better relations between both parties.
Welcome. It's a very, very good thing. Like many other good things, it comes with its pains. When one time Nigerian custom abruptly suspended barge operation, I knew we were in trouble, and I had to leave here and run to Abuja and have several meetings, after which we insisted that that must not happen again. We cannot afford not to have barges anymore. They are part of the architecture of ports. There must be the issue of the pricing. Okay, the pricing is very, very important. It can also not be arbitrarily or unilateral. We have to look at many factors in tariff setting as far as badge operation is concerned.
At the meeting, one president also lamented how badge operators struggle to get access to loans, whereas their foreign counterparts gain access to zero-interest loans, thus creating an unfair operating environment. Mr. Kelikume also sought the support of the Council in training badge operators to be in tune with international best practices.
Technical assistance are very key to help us build capacity. And finally, the area of financial support. We're not coming to ask for money, but it is needed. You can't pretend. It is needed to especially in the area of asset acquisition. An industry where we work for other people, technically speaking. You're working for the terminals, you're working for the badge owner, you're working for the crane operator, for the crane owner. At the end of the day, sometimes you don't go with anything. So you see a lot of money, but you can't take it. Because you have to pay these people for you to remain in business. So we need that. We need to sit down with the Shippers Council. How can we get that economic support?
Mr. Wagani, who also spoke to the shipper, called on port regulators to checkmate people who come into the industry without knowledge of the operations. He equally called on the government to support badge operators with funds to buy the necessary equipment for smoother operations.
When we started this business, many people, they didn't think that it is one of the sector of transportation and is going to revive the economy, because when badge operation is being practiced all over the world and it's a means of conveying goods, both liquid, cargo, containerized cargo, and other general goods.
Mr. Kelikume told the shipper that the badge industry's most important value to the economy is creating jobs. He noted that the operation of badges has stimulated the economy significantly.
Without the badges operating in 2019-2020, some of the companies that are situated along the waterways like Dangote Sugar, Dangote Flour, Boa Industries might have shut down. These are people that are employing thousands of people in the system. Beyond that, the operation on its own also creates a lot of employment.
Barrister Mboji also spoke to the shipper, describing the badge operations of foreigners as illegal. The Buan legal advisor, who noted that the Cabotage Act reserves the operations for Nigerians only, emphasized the need for regulators to enforce the law.
I want to encourage the regulators to work with the Badge Operator Association of Nigeria, Buan, to ensure we can sustain this business, because the potential and business in there is very huge. If it's properly harnessed, I believe the industry can help to improve the nation's GDP and economic development of Nigeria. So we're here to work with our regulators to ensure this business is sustainable and we ensure this business stands the test of time.
The Executive Secretary of the NSC emphasized the need for a multimodal approach to the evacuation of cargoes. He noted that while badge operation is welcomed, it must be regulated.
You have to put standard, legal framework, institutional, and of course, regulatory framework. Because if it were allowed to just go on without any regulation, then it would be a disaster.
As the Port Economic Regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council will continue to ensure that all port operators will have the best possible environment to thrive so that the nation's economy can improve. It's time to move on to the Titbit segment, where I'll be updating you with the latest developments in the global maritime sector. Badge Nigeria Limited has signed an agreement with the Nigerian Shippers Council to carry out construction of the Dala Inland Dry Port project in Kano. The principal partner, architect Matthew Onoba, during the signing of the contract agreement, conveyed the company's readiness to deliver the IDP project, expressing optimism that the project, when completed, would address congestion at the nation's seaports. The Nigerian Shippers Council continues to urge service providers such as terminal and barge operators, shipping companies, freight forwarders, clearing agents, amongst others, to register as full regulated service providers. Failure to do so will attract penalty. Registration forms can be picked up at the office of the council, or you can register online via the website www.shipperstradedata.gov.ng. In Jos, the Director North Central Zone of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Mrs. Ife Okolwe, led a team of NSC staff to a meeting with the Abanasheo Initiative Forum executives, where she enlightened them on the roles of the council. In the same vein, she received the newly appointed Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Plateau State Sector Command, Mr. Godwin Alphonsus, at the zonal office. This was to familiarize himself with the zonal office and strengthen the relationship between the council and the FRSC. Let's now check on the complaint register for the week. A total number of 7 complaints have been received, 3 have been resolved, and 4 are ongoing investigations. The complaints include illegal transfer charges, demurrage and storage charges, excessive charges on debit notes, and delay in transfer of containers. Shippers Council continues to intervene on cases and resolve them as amicably as possible. Here is a letter of appreciation from the Managing Director Mimi Yankee Exports Limited, Aldo Ashim, whose cargo was wrongly shipped. Next up, global maritime news obtained from Sea Trade Maritime. Continuing the trend of consolidation in container shipping, Hapag-Lloyd has acquired 100% shares of Africa's specialist Nile Dutch. The move to acquire Nile Dutch sees Hapag-Lloyd continuing a strategy of growth through consolidation, in particular with lines operating in the niche trading sectors. It also continues the wider trend of consolidation in the container shipping sector. Africa is an important strategic growth market for Hapag-Lloyd. The acquisition of Nile Dutch strengthens our position in West Africa and will be an excellent addition to our existing activities on the continent. Our combined customer base will benefit from a denser network from and to Africa, as well as from a much higher frequency of sailing, said Rolf Haben-Jessen, CEO of Hapag-Lloyd. The deal is subject to approval from regulatory and antitrust authorities, and Hapag-Lloyd did not give an estimated date of completion. In China, CMA CGM is strengthening its inland service through a new joint venture with CIMC Modern Logistics at the North China port city of Tianjin. CMA CGM provides its customers with a door-to-door and eco-friendly inland solution coming train, barge, and truck for seamless continental connections, said Ludovic Renel, CEO of CMA CGM China. This service is much like Shippers Council's continued advocate for Nigeria. The company said CMA CGM's inland service Tianjin Depot integrates the highest standard of environmental protection, including more efficient water usage and hygienic wastewater treatment. It is said the Tianjin Depot is a breakthrough towards CMA CGM's 2050 carbon neutrality objective. But wait, there's more. Peru's National Port Authority has approved the technical work files of Phase 2 and additional investment of the new container terminal of Callao Port Terminal South Zone, operated by DP World Callao. DP World Callao's investment of $333.6 million will cover the expansion of the current pier to 960 meters from 650 meters, the storage area to 30.3 hectares, and the installation of 2 new key gantry cranes. With these works, the South Pier and DP World Callao continue working for a much more competitive terminal with world standards. In order to boost foreign trade and contribute to the dynamization of Peru's economy, said Edgar Patino Garrido, chairman of the National Ports Authority Board of Directors. With this investment, Callao South Pier Terminal will have the capacity to simultaneously handle up to 3 new Panamax vessels. Works are expected to begin by early 2022. That's it on this week's Tidbits.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
And that's how far we can go on today's edition of The Shipper, brought to you by Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. Many thanks for watching. Join us next week for another enlightening edition of the program. Bye.